Well, hello folks, and welcome to another episode of the Holdfast Garage. My name is Aaron, and I'm an amateur. I have no formal training whatsoever. Okay. So, for today's episode, what I think we're going to do is just kind of some general painting and preservation of some items that really need it. To start with, the drive shaft. I put it out here on the sawhorses a little while ago, and then I, fully intending to actually do something, and then it rained, and I didn't do anything. So now I also have to clean up the splined end that actually goes into the transmission. I have brass wire wheels that I'm going to clean that up with, and then I'm going to coat the whole thing. Once I've got it cleaned off, the rust knocked off, and hit with a prep spray so that I know it's nice and clean, then I'm going to slather it with assembly grease so that we don't have this problem anymore, so that it's covered. For the rest of it, we're gonna knock all the rust off and put a primer down on it, and then paint it black so that it's pretty. And then later on, I think maybe we'll get into cleaning some other engine parts. They're not engine parts necessarily, but brackets and attachment pieces, things like that. Getting all the rust knocked off of that so that when we put the whole engine back in the car, we don't have these glaringly either rusty or dirty or combination of the two, or who knows what else, so that everything looks nice in the engine bay there. And that's going to be kind of tedious for you to watch, so what I thought I'd do is put all this on a time lapse, put some music on it. Maybe we'll do smooth jazz again. I don't know, we'll see. Editing Aaron, he could go crazy. We don't know what he's going to do. That's later. That's future me. But we'll put some music on, and I think maybe do a little voiceover to for those of you that are new to the channel, or if you've been watching for a while and you've maybe forgotten a few things, give you a little update, give you the backstory really to the Chevy Caprice as a class of vehicles, or as a model. The year 1975, why that was important for cars in general, and for the Caprice as well, and for Chevy. And maybe a little bit of the story of, the great white beast herself. Now, if you want Dad's point of view on all this, the history according to Dad, you can check out the video that's going to be linked right up in the corner here, wherein I interviewed him that's been, like 2.5, almost 3 years ago, I think. And he'll give some of the story. So you can check that out. And I'll also put the link to that video in the description if you want to watch that at the end of this video. So that's the plan. As always, when you're doing a project like this, a restoration, something as big as this, something might pop up in the middle and change the course of the whole thing. But, we'll see. And for now, anyway, we're gonna knock the rust off of this and prime it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy whatever music I decide that we're gonna listen to, rather. Also, while we're doing this, Bandit is going to be in charge of running laps. Bella is going to be in charge of basking. So Dad did tell me about this. So Dad, if you're watching, yes, you told me about this. This guy's a little beefier than the other Ryobi tools that I have. I need something a little more powerful than this. These batteries are draining quickly. I have more inside, so we're gonna keep pushing forward for now. See how far we make it. I'll be right back with fresh batteries. So here's a little tidbit that I just learned, actually, doing research for this episode. The first option for a Chevy Caprice was actually an Impala upgrade in the model year 1965. You could get a Caprice custom sedan option pack on a 4-door Chevy Impala hardtop. It was $200 extra, which is about $2,000 in today's money. And it was an option, actually, for Impala. Now, in 1966, the Chevy Caprice became its own make, its own singular make. And there were follow-on custom packages from there. There have been 6 different generations of the Chevy Caprice. Sadly, it is no longer made in the United States and was last manufactured in 2017 in the US. The Great White Beast is, of course, a 1975 model year, which is the 2nd generation. Now, looking through the pictures of the Chevy Caprice, I have to say that as far as front end anyway, body styling, the first edition of the 2nd generation, the 71, 72, that's the prettiest grille if you ask me. I'll throw a picture up here real quick so you can have a look at it. Part of what makes the Great White Beast as a 1975 model year important or unique in car culture is that 1975 was the last model year that most GM brands offered a convertible. You could, in 1976, get a Cadillac Eldorado in a convertible package. But the rest of GM had gone away from convertibles, and in 1977, even Cadillac stopped. A big part of the reason for General Motors making this change, and General Motors wasn't the only one, the rest of American car manufacturers followed suit. One of the big reasons was that the National Highway Safety Transportation Administration was going to be mandating not just lap seat belts, but also shoulder harness or shoulder seat belts. And the engineering problem of putting a pillar or some kind of structural anchor for the shoulder belt in a convertible meant that there were some engineering problems to have to be solved, and rather than tackle them, GM just decided, and most car manufacturers just decided, let's just not even offer a convertible. So as I said, there is a full episode available wherein I interview Dad and ask him several questions and get some of the backstory on the Great White Beast herself, how Dad came to order the beast, and a little bit of the history. The nickname Great White Beast, its origins are lost to antiquity, but for anyone that knows my mother, Willie, that definitely sounds like a nickname that she would give that car. That's my story, or that's the story I believe anyway, and I'm sticking to it. And really, I mean, the car is a beast. With a Chevy V8 454 cubic inch engine, she could plow through anything. And at one point, Dad did actually put snow chains on the tires during a particularly rough Iowa winter. So knowing that 1975 was the last model year for convertibles in Chevrolet, Dad went to the dealership, sat down with the salesman, and went down the list. Paint color, trim, hardtop or convertible, 2-door, 4-door, engine, transmission, everything. This car, the Great White Beast, this is Dad's car. For all intents and purposes, well, he didn't design it, but he picked all the options. The goal all along has been to do our best to keep the Beast as original as possible. Wherever we can, we are repairing the parts that are available. Where necessary, we are replacing the parts with at least the same OEM parts. Not necessarily manufactured in the 70s, but at least the same parts. There are some changes that we have made already and that we're going to continue to make. The engine had to be taken to a machinist. So she's not actually a 454. She's been bored 30 thousandths over on all the cylinders, which, according to Dad, the math comes out to now instead of a 454 cubic inch, she's a 460.3 cubic inch engine. So just a little more displacement. The other big change that we intend to make is we will not be putting the smog pump system back onto the exhaust. This being a classic car in the state of Virginia, I don't have to pass emissions tests. And the smog pump in the 1975 model year was still very much in its infancy. They were still developing the system, and it robbed power more than it did anything else. Catalytic converters did more to cut down on emissions than a smog pump did anyway. So we will not be putting the smog pump back on. As the engine was being machined, we also put a new cam in and roller lifters. So she's going to have a little bit more power and be a little smoother. We still haven't run the engine. It hasn't even been put back in the car yet. That's going to be coming up here shortly. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we played a little bit of funk for that first little portion there. How about we actually do some smooth jazz here? Well, there it is. So I'm conflicted, is what I am. The transmission is still very dirty, and we're down to, you know, nooks and crannies that are even this brush won't get into, and now it's all full of gunk from hitting an oil spot. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna clean that, probably with the parts cleaner, you know. Anyway, so here's the dilemma. Could I power wash this thing and get all the nooks and crannies? Yeah, I probably could, but can I properly plug all of the holes for the coolant lines? There's a vacuum line that goes here. There's a couple of sensor lines, sensor plugs on the other side. Can I properly cover those so that water doesn't get inside where it shouldn't be? I don't know. I would like to, and Dad would also like to, paint the transmission black so that it's, you know, so that it looks nice. Is that a requirement? No. As I said, we would like to. It's a like to, not a need to. It's aluminum, cast aluminum, so it's not like it's in danger of rusting. Here's the thing. Once we made it to the engine and put it back in the car, that's until or unless we pull the engine and transmission out again. That's really, you know, that's going to be it. Whatever it looks like when it goes in, it's going to look like that for a while. I have no intention of pulling this engine and transmission out again anytime soon. Once was enough. So, do I just, you know, blast it off with some compressed air, make it nice and clean, and just deal with it? I'm kind of leaning towards that. Because nobody's ever going to see this thing, really, right? And we're not trying to win prizes at car shows. We're just trying to make it to the car show. Also, the parade in July that's coming up. Don't forget about that. I don't know. I'm torn still because it's out now, and I could put some more work into it and get it cleaned up more, better. I don't know. And unfortunately, that's the cliffhanger on which I'm going to leave you, because the sun is starting to get below the trees. I got to do dog chores, and I'm tired and kind of sore because we had t-ball this morning, and I pitched to the kids, and that's, you know, lower back and glutes, and I just want to take a shower and lay down for a minute and watch some TV. So we're gonna close out this episode. Hopefully, editing Aaron and voiceover Aaron gave you some fun facts about the Chevy Caprice as a model and the Great White Beast as an individual. And hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you did, then please like and subscribe and share one or more of the videos on this channel to some car buffs that you know. And we'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully, that episode has me mating the engine to the transmission. We'll see. Tune in. Find out. See you next time.